Yo, and what's good? We are back here on ContyChat, and the name is Lipaul, and I'm excited to be here with you guys. And of course, we are still celebrating our 65th Independence Day, right? Cheng cheng! There you go. Tanah Tumpah Darahku, always a Malaysian and will always be a proud Malaysian. Now, by the way, guys, before we talk about today's topic, don't forget to follow us on our socials. We are on Facebook and YouTube as well on ContyNews. And also, if you want to check out Instagram, TikTok, don't forget to also check out ContyChat. And here is something that is crazy. Yes, we are on Spotify as well. If you want to check out what we've actually discussed, the topics, and who was on previous episodes, check us out on ContyChat on Spotify, okay? So now let's get the ball rolling, man. I mean, we just celebrated our 65th Independence Day, and Malaysia continues to stand proud and tall, a superb great nation with many achievements since 1957. But the question is, how far have we come? Are we continue moving forward or otherwise? But of course, let's not talk about that though. Let's just talk how great this nation is, and let's talk about what brings us together. And to discuss this, I've got two interesting guests on the show right here together with me. So please welcome Richard Ker, who is a digital storyteller. What's up, Richard?
Hello, it's good to be here today.
Fantastic. And of course, it's great to have you here with us. And also Catherine Paul, who is a producer. Welcome, Catherine.
Hi, it's good to be here too.
Yeah, I hope so, because right now it's a bit cold right here, right?
Yes.
But we'll talk about something that is pretty much hot. Malaysia.
It's hot.
Yes, exactly. So at this point in time, of course, we're talking about unity, right? Something that I wouldn't really say that we've lost the translation along the way. But first, let's talk about unity. Let's start with Richard. How far have we come?
I think in general, from what I can see and experience, I think the unity is still strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, despite whatever you see on social media, right? Or the media per se.
Correct.
Yep.
So unity is still strong.
Yes.
Would you agree to that?
Yeah, I think so, because like you see sometimes when I think I would take an example of our recent big flood, the big flood in
Yeah.
Selangor.
Inshallah, man.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Yes, exactly.
So can you see the amount of people, and these are public, you know, and they just come,
Yeah.
you know, without thinking of their lives.
Correct.
You know, they're willing to sacrifice their life.
Correct.
And they went all the way out, you know, bringing their boats, bringing whatever, you know, their four-wheeler,
Correct.
you know, giving food to those who are stranded, and that is really, really amazing. You know, people go through, you know, they go all the way out
Correct.
for another.
Yes.
So I believe that is truly how do you say, a family-centered kind of relationship. That's what we have here in Malaysia. you know.
Correct.
So
Religious
that was so-
institutions out there, they kept the
Yeah.
doors open. You know, it does not
Yeah.
matter if you're what race you belong. You know,
Yes.
religion. Everybody just kept the doors
Yes,
open.
and that for a moment did not exist.
Okay.
It was just like, we are Malaysians.
Yeah.
You know, you're my brother, you're my sister, you're my uncle, auntie, whoever you are. You are stranger, but like, hey, you need us. We are there for you. You know. And people come all the way
That's
from
right.
other states. You know, sending truckloads of essential items.
Correct.
Even during the cleaning period, you know, they go out there and clean people's house. I don't see that happening anywhere else.
Yeah. That's true.
And even on social media, right? Because you know, once in a while you get to see some of these heartwarming stories about people helping somebody with a broken tire or something at the roadside. You always see that, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And
I
it's
was
like
just
coming
about
from
to
different
say that.
races and
Yeah. I mean, it gave us two opportunities to come together. First one, obviously, it has got to be the lockdown, right? People were helping each other, you know,
Yeah.
with the white flag and all those kind of
Yeah.
movement and stuff like that.
exactly.
And then, donating food at the nearest petrol station, so on and so forth. So I guess, in terms of unity, I think we are there. Would you agree?
Yes, I totally
we
agree.
are.
Yeah, okay. So now, in your opinion, how do you feel about Malaysia's achievement so far as a developing nation? Let's start with Catherine.
I think from where we were before till now, I think there's a vast difference.
Okay.
Because in terms of infrastructure, you can see the MRT in Kapong.
Yeah.
That is it's, how do you say, it's a
It's something that I would
something
say...
that like we've never imagined.
Exactly.
You know, we've never imagined that one day Kapung will be transformed into that kind of environment with MRT and all that. So, and also like in terms of transportation, you know, we have the LRT and also okay, if we go back in time, it used to be things used to be done manually.
Yes, correct.
Say for example, okay, let's take in companies for example, those my generation probably we were still doing punch card those days, you know. But like my during my time, punch card was just a short period. And because I was attached to an American company, so we started the time management system, which is the TMS right now, back in 1990s. So like, you know, there's a shift from manual to digital. And now I think we're moving forward towards AI technology.
Yeah, and it sounds scary, to be really honest, AI technology.
Yes.
Would you agree, Richard? You know, the AI technology, it knows where you are. it probably knows what time you're going to get up from your bed.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think that it is part of the natural evolution of technology.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at how, you know, we've progressed as a nation, back from you know, in the early days of the independence until today, even the way we live is totally different.
Yes.
Right.
The digital lifestyle, the way we buy things, the way we book our tickets, everything changed.
Correct.
But I think that is actually a good indication about how we have progressed so far. And it's always great to look back and how far we have progressed like over the years.
I don't know whether saying this is actually correct or not, but you guys can correct me, okay? In terms of like developing our nation digitally, so on and so forth, right? There's something that has not been developed, and actually we are proud about it. Foreigners coming into Malaysia, one thing that they always look out for is our food, and that shouldn't develop, because that should not develop. Would you agree?
Yeah, that has to be it has to be maintained.
Yeah, I mean,
Authentic.
nasi lemak suddenly
be authentic.
developing nasi lemak with fries. I'm like, right? So that shouldn't develop. So I think at the end of the day, food as well binds us together.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
does not matter whether you're Malaysian.
Exactly.
Food and
Language-
sports.
Yeah,
Food and sports.
food and sports.
Language now, language you see Malay speaking in Tamil, speaking in Chinese,
Correct.
Mandarin, and like Indians, they can converse in Hokkien, Cantonese, and Mandarin, and likewise like Chinese. Some Chinese they can talk and sing in Tamil.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like we are Malaysian in that aspect, you
Yeah.
see. And like even in fact, food, we are also infusing different races, the food from different races into like one. You know, so like for Chinese, they can eat spicy food.
Yeah, correct.
You know, because that's what Malaysian is made of.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you especially with all the steamboat and all those kind of stuff,
Yeah,
right?
so
And then you know they have all this spicy stuff. Previously, you know, you have these people who are probably not aware certain food should actually taste like
Yeah,
this, and
that's
when you tell them it's going to be spicy, and they'll be
Yeah.
like, never mind. I think I'm a Malaysian. I'm going to eat this. But as a Malaysian citizen, how proud are you?
I think I'm very proud, actually, to be honest, because I've been doing a lot of this social media thing, at least for the last 6 months, and it has built a strong traction, at least on my social media platforms, because I've been promoting about Malaysia's success stories, not just locally, but also Malaysians who are doing great overseas as well. Like for instance, recently I get to speak to Miss Florence Tan. So she's a Malaysian from Muar, and she's actually has been working at NASA for the past 30 years. And you know what she does? She builds equipment for spacecrafts to be sent to Mars, to be sent to Jupiter and all the other planets around the world. I mean, in the universe.
Bingo, that's a good one. But Catherine, you just shared your story about the recent flood that took place in Shah Alam, etc. in Selangor.
Yeah.
Do you have other stories to tell us in terms about your experience, you being proud as a Malaysian?
For once, if I can remember, I mean, I do remember, like, I'm an Indian, but I don't speak Tamil at home when I was young.
Okay.
I speak all the 4 languages,
Okay.
which is, I'm a Penangite, so we speak Tamil, BM, English, and Hokkien. So we mix the language.
You can speak Hokkien?
a little bit, yeah. So we mix it, you know. So sometimes, like, when we don't want people to know what we are talking, we were talking Hokkien. You know, I mean, when we were young, like, you know, then after that, like when we move on, like even now, it's not just one language.
Okay.
I sort of like mix all the language. So like
Yeah.
sometimes people wonder, you know, people ask me question, are you Indian? Because I don't speak that language. Like, I mean, I do speak that language, but like it's not like 100% like full force in Tamil or things like that. So like even since young, we've already like, it's a mixture. I love Chinese food.
Right.
You know, my mom cooks Indian food, so we don't eat outside. So like Indian food, we get it from home. Chinese food, we get it outside. And like Malay, it's like satay. You know, so like even with that food itself, we are all mixed already. It's not like one particular food that we are craving. And like as we grew up, it's the Western food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow or other, I don't know
Yeah.
how the Western food will come into the
Yeah,
picture.
so
but
like-
maybe
like-
it's because of the type of media we consume,
Yeah,
especially when we
yeah.
watch our favorite movies and stuff.
and also like now the younger generation, like for my kids,
They're all
my
about
cooking-
Korean. They're all about
Yeah.
the K-wave, okay? The Korean food, Korean music.
Yeah. like
everything.
it's-
The K-pop.
Yeah.
spaghetti and all that. So like,
Right. Exactly.
So like even my cooking itself, it's already fusion. It's already fusion. And like for Raya, I will cook ketupat, lemang. I'll make kuah kacang. In fact I celebrate Raya also in my own house lah. You know. So like to me that's how I celebrate. So like for Chinese New Year, like I do Yisan. So and celebrate.
Yeah, exactly. Now, guys, we are going for a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to get the POVs from both of our extinguished guests today, talking about whether Malaysians are divided in terms of economy, religion, etc. But wait for that one. 5 minutes break from now. We will be right back.
Laungan kita, Malaysiaku, tanah airku, negaraku, Malaysiaku. Lihatlah kita, wahai bangsaku.
Setiap jiwa pasti bangga atas nama bangsa Malaysia. Sekian lama merdeka, bertumpahnya cinta. Usia kita makin dewasa, berkali-kali kita diuji. Kasihnya bangsa dibela, maruah dijaga. Warga Malaysia teguh bersama. Warga Malaysia teguh bersama. Oh, laungan kita, Malaysiaku, tanah airku, negaraku, Malaysiaku. Lihatlah kita, wahai bangsaku, semaikan cinta gerak hati pasti murni. Biarlah semangat dipalu kita bagaikan aur dengan terbit. Korang Malaysia teguh bersama. Hey, 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 hey. Keluarga Malaysia. Hey, 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 hey.
And thank you so much for bouncing. This is ContyChat, and today we are talking about Malaysia standing in the eyes of the world, celebrating our 65th Independence Day. Together with me in the studio, we have a digital storyteller. We've got Richard Ker, and also a producer, Lipaul. My question is that after all these years, education and social status, what is the story right here, right now? Is it a good thing? Is it showing positive improvement or maybe even progress, Richard?
But I guess the way we consume media today, for example, right? It's very very digital based, because when you wake up in the morning, you're just gonna reach out to your mobile devices.
Correct.
And you're gonna start seeing all this news coming to you and feed on your news feed. So of course, sometimes the kind of news that we consume and provided to you, it can be a lot of negativity sometimes, right? So I guess it's always about perception. Whatever, how do you want to look at things, right? Whether it is an obstacle to the nation, or is it an opportunity for the nation?
Correct.
So it's always about how do you look at things. And for me personally, I tend to post a lot of positivity on my social media itself, to really portray that, because sometimes we tend to forget that how far we have progressed, and people sometimes they miss out some of the amazing things that the country has done.
Yeah, correct. Catherine, racism, right? In football, you still have it today. Even by playing computer games, they will somehow or rather know what kind of a person you are based on the way you play. And I have no idea how that happens, okay? I really no idea how that happens. Social status, etc. How can we do better, Catherine?
To avoid racism, maybe we should start from young, and look at each other as in the context of Malaysian, look at each other as Malaysian, not Indian, Chinese, or any other races. But because when you see each other as a Malaysian, and you have the sense of belonging as one family, which that's what happened when people came to the rescue, like in Taman Sri Muda. You see, people they didn't look at each other as, hey, I'm Indian, I go and help another Indian. No, that wasn't there. So to avoid racism, I think you should look at each other as who they are. It's not what they are. Whether what skin color are they. So for me, I feel that is that's a way to avoid racism.
What about you, Richard? Do you think education plays an important role, not just from home, and what can be done better?
Of course, education is always part of it. But I think I'm very fortunate enough to grow up and born in Sabah, because in terms of racism, I think it's very minimal there, actually, to be honest, because we get to experience people from all the different backgrounds. And in fact, in Sabah there are more than 30 ethnic groups, and of course doesn't include all the different races as well. So even myself, I'm actually quite mixed already. Even within the family, my sister actually converted to Muslim, so very diverse. I think it's always about education, and of course with the power of the digital and social media nowadays, and you can do that influencing as well to others.
Previously when I was in school, SMK, and also primary school, right, the only thing that really brought us together is probably just playing football. In terms
for one is that is no doubt brings people together.
And probably when somebody tries to steal my chicken, during recess time, so on and so forth, they don't care, and then they just take it away. But in terms of primary and secondary school, and then you have your private schools, your international schools, sometimes we just lose that spirit of unity, somehow or other. And I have no idea why. Maybe it's very selective in that sense. But in terms of education and how people can actually do better, like what Catherine just said, you have to, I think, realizing that this is actually happening in the first place is the number one step for you to actually be better. And especially we have people studying abroad, and interestingly, those of my friends who studied abroad, they always come back and tell me nothing is like Malaysia.
Oh yes,
it's always like that.
Because you know why? In order for you to know the value that you have to move away. Just like family, for example. Okay, until and unless you move out of your house and stay elsewhere, and you experience life there,
Mhm.
then only you will realize the value of family and the parents, the sacrifices of your parents. Similarly, for the country.
When you're overseas, when you see a proton,
Yeah.
I get very excited.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, it's a proton.
Yeah. And then you get those people telling you about your
Yeah,
car.
that's
right?
right.
Yes, yeah.
Bro, that's you know what I mean. But okay, coming back to this, being abroad. If given the opportunity to live abroad, right? Would you stay elsewhere other than Malaysia? I mean, yeah. Let's be honest about this.
I've lived abroad before, so I can,
Relate to this.
relate to that one lah. So definitely Malaysia is the best place. I mean, despite all the exciting things that are happening in different parts of the world, Malaysia is still unique in many ways, and you still get the best of both worlds, I can say.
Okay, if you have kids, nephews, nieces, etc., to actually tell them to just pack their bags and just move abroad, would you agree to this statement, Catherine?
I think in a way I would, because like I said, they need to experience the world. Okay, go out there, experience the world,
And come back home.
yeah. and that's what happens sometimes. Like I've come across some of my friends, and they will say they have been in US, but they're back. So they have a reason to come back. So like I said, for some it's like you give back to the society.
Right.
So when you have the energy, you explore, you learn.
So for you, it's like a reverse psychology thing, lah. It's like, yeah, go. And then you see the world, and then you know what you're missing out here in Malaysia.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have exposure.
Yeah.
You can't be like in Malay they say kata bawa tempurung lah, and then you say, we are the best, this and that. No, go out there, as in the football field.
Okay.
Go and play. Go and play, experience yourself, and then you realize, and then you can come back and contribute to the nation. That's what is happening to the professionals.
Yeah. Correct.
Why do they come back? They
Correct.
could stay there.
Correct.
After so many years, they could stay there.
Yes.
But because of the realization, and they want to give back to the community. You see, that's what it is all
Yeah.
about. Sometimes we talk about
How
what do you call that?
the path is greener on the other side, right?
Yeah, it may not be necessary that it's greener on the other side, but it all depends on you. Actually, it all
The grass,
depends on
the
you.
grass is greener where you
Green.
water it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it depends whether you water the grass every day or
It
not.
does not matter where you're from, right?
Yeah.
If you don't water the grass, you don't
Yeah.
add some fertilizers, you're still gonna
That's right.
crumble and fall in that
Yeah.
way. But of course, looking back at the time when we got our independence, do you feel that Malaysians are more united now? I think from whatever that we've discussed, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Right? And how can we do better? I think, of course, that can be discussed as well.
Yeah.
So, Richard, what do you think?
I think like because everyone's on digital nowadays, right? And everyone has that role to actually to influence others. You don't have to have 1 million followers to do this. Even if you just post something positive on social media, what's happening on the ground, the stories that that you encounter on a daily basis, I think we can educate a lot of people. We don't have to really rely on official media channels to do that. So everyone has that influencing power. So if everybody does that more on a digital space, I think we can do wonders actually.
Right.
Yeah, actually, I think people are beginning to do that. You see a lot of how do you say heartfelt stories out there. Where like I once saw one story where this boy, a Malay boy, I think if I remember correctly, is like a Grab rider kind of thing.
Right.
And he
Those
saw
e-hailing, yeah.
Yeah, and he saw this man, an Indian old man, and he literally gave his slipper. That, these kind of stories are inspiring, and this is a Malaysian spirit.
Correct.
You know? We don't see who you are, and because we respect the elders, and it comes in naturally. It's an inbuilt kind of thing that we Malaysians have. I mean, we address strangers, uncle, auntie, anne. You go to the restaurant, you say anne, you want to say,
Yeah.
I mean, that is our culture.
Yeah. Correct.
That is our unique Malaysian culture. You don't see that elsewhere.
Correct.
So it is in us.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of
Yeah.
Malaysians.
Unfortunately, we have to, wind up right now. But of course, before we go, maybe Richard and Catherine, you can also share your Merdeka message to all the peoples out there very briefly. Let's go, Richard.
So be that beacon of unity through social media. I think everyone has that role to play. So if you see something positive, just share it. You never know how far it would go.
Exactly. Catherine, let's go.
Be who you are, respect one another, look at ourselves as Malaysians and not as Indian, Malay, Chinese or any other races, and have a sense of belonging to be a true Malaysian.
Happy 65th Independence Day, Malaysia. We truly love you. And remember, guys, unfortunately, we don't have much time, so we have to wrap things up. But before we go, don't forget to follow us on our socials as well. We are on Facebook and also on YouTube at ContyNews, and we are on Spotify as well. Just search us on ContyChat. Till then, I am Lipaul. Thank you so much for joining us right here on ContyChat. We will meet next time. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Lalu kita bagaikan aur dengan terbit, kota Malaysia teguh bersama. Hey, 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 hey. Keluarga Malaysia. Hey, 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 hey. Teguh bersama. Oh, laungan kita Malaysiaku.